All right, buddy. Jody Williams, we are live. We are live. And
Yes,
we're early. We're 10 seconds early.
that's okay. That's okay because we got a lot to get to.
We do. Well, let's kick it off. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the channel. Hit like in this video. Check out Jody's channel at the end of this one. It's in the comments section. Hit subscribe over there. Jody, where do you want to begin?
Let me get on my soapbox for a second.
Yeah.
Now, prior to the dark, let's be real. The main topic is the dark card match. Matches, plural. But before, really get into it, I got to get on my soapbox for a second. Because prior to this past weekend, all we talked about was Devin and Sanders. We all want to know. We all sat there and said, Neil, thanks for putting this on. I still feel the same way. Now,
me too. Anyway, go
problem is, once that match and that event came and went, it seemed like the majority of the conversation was, hey, was it live? Doesn't fucking matter. Now, sorry, I don't want to get kicked off the show. But here's the thing. We all tuned in to see the match. Who cares if it's live or not? I knew the second it wasn't live when once it came on and there's the ending, like, oh, the show's going to end at 1 hour and 36 minutes and some odd seconds. I already knew right then and there that it was kind of pre-recorded. But being the arm wrestling fan that I am, I still watched it from the beginning because I was interested in some other matches on the card. Okay. Now, with that being said, everybody was, kind of miffed about, hey, how come it wasn't live, this, that, and the other. What you need to realize is that I don't really remember any kind of live events Neil did. I don't. So from that standpoint, you got to realize that maybe the people who wanted to do what's the latest and greatest now, people want to do live shows, live parties or whatever. Maybe those guys didn't get a chance to do that. But still, if you're an arm wrestling fan, you enjoyed the event. And by the way, I will say that what made this one a little bit better than some, as the matches were done and each competitor went to their respective corners, split screen, hey, we got the replay on this one. So you got a replay. You can see what really happened while they're getting a rub down or drinking water or, talking strategy, whatever. You still got a chance to sit there and watch that. And if you really wanted to, okay, I want to bypass that and get to match 2, match 3, and so on. So, I don't understand why people are like just so hell-bent out of shape because it wasn't live.
Well, let me tell you about my experience. Because I was busy all day on Saturday, I had actually sent Neil a message and said, hey, will the live event still be there for me to watch later when I get home? And he read the message and he didn't respond. And now I understand why. Because I got home and I thought, okay, this happened live this afternoon.
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like, wow, the production of this is amazing for a live event. They got somebody in the truck doing replays in real time here. And I thought it was awesome. I didn't find out until 2 hours later that it wasn't a live show. When somebody said, unless Devin grew a beard overnight, that was not a live event. I was like, holy shit, yeah, there he is posting right there. Obviously it wasn't. I don't really care. And I went to the length of not logging onto any social media for the day so I wouldn't see a spoiler. And the fact that they kept this quiet so long about what the results were, because the rumor I heard is this was actually recorded when they were there for the Arm Gods event way back then, is a credit to them. It didn't ruin my experience seeing it in that level. The one thing I appreciated is that I didn't have to go through the some of the stuff you have with live events where the stream cuts out or any of that
choppy.
Stuff. Yeah, it's choppy. You don't see something. I don't get the outrage as long as we didn't find out the result before it happened.
Well, I still thought that. I remember Ingen probably lost his mind because there was some guy out there who I'm not going to mention his name. I guess he pirated the last East vs. West show.
Oh, yeah. Well, he mentioned his name.
Well, I'm not going to. But I do know his initials, but I'm not going to go there. However, here's the deal. So if you know Neil, this is his production, right? And what they try to do is put a wraps on everything. They're in control. Now, I'll give you another example. Remember when John did his javelin move? Remember that?
Yep.
So that happened in January of 2022. That match didn't get released till like what, the summer? So everybody jumped on John for doing that. Hell, they've been there, done that. So the thing is, though, when I go to ARMWARS next month, right? I think I'm gonna have my match with Uncle John. Then that'll be in March. That shit might not get released till like July, August, whatever, you know.
But we know that.
What's that?
We know that ahead of time too.
Yeah. So that whole time, I am mums, whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. But you know, I guess the point I'm trying to make is I don't get why everybody's so bent out of shape about why it wasn't live and that kind of stuff. Did you like the event? Did you enjoy the production? That's what it's coming down to. I mean, Neil tries to do something different. We know King of the Table is live. East vs. West is live. And I've said this over and over, and you've heard me say this too, Ryan. Every promotion has something a little different for everybody. I like the way Neil does his. He likes to keep his stuff under wraps. Who cares if, you know, hey, well, he said he was going to be live and it wasn't, and I had a party, and yeah, you still were going to have people over if you got the event. Doesn't matter. Every time we have these England events or King of the Tables, you know, I got my guys coming over for practice because we practice Saturday mornings anyway. We get the event, we watch it, we enjoy it. Who cares about if it's live or tape record, all that kind of stuff? It doesn't matter because now it kind of, the Devin match, even though it was a whitewash, right? It kind of put everything else underneath the table. I mean, I was shocked that Coach Ray lost the way he lost. I was like, what the fuck happened, you know? That was the topic, and no one really talks about that. It was about, oh, was it live? This, that, and the other. It blows my mind.
Was it, Jay Clean makes a comment about if it was promoted as live. My question is, was it actually promoted as being a live event?
Neil got on there and said, he actually got on yesterday and was telling everybody, hey, guys, just so you know, I was not doing it live. I don't know if he said it was live. I just know it's like, ooh, premiere, dark card. The fact that it was like, oh, by the way, guess what? Boom, I'm going to do a match. Oh, crap. Because I like the buildup. Because if you pay attention, when Arm Gods went off in January, right? And Devin kind of mentioned that, hey, I know who I want to pull. He talks in riddles a lot. So if you're really paying attention, he said it right there who he wanted to pull. And then lo and behold, hey, guess what? You know, now Neil has the fix on. He has Devin. He has Sanders on. And, you know, and Paul Lynn. And then Paul actually got off. And then it became just the, you know, Devin and Sanders show. Neil was just kicking back. You guys take the stage. So, I mean, that was cool too. But it's just weird that people always seem to find something to complain about.
So there's some people saying it was promoted as live, some saying it wasn't. It could be a little wordsmithing. Like there's been some direct deception in the sport previously. Mm-hmm. Like let's use an example here. Here's a good one. When Michael Todd and Travis said, we're going to compete, and then they was hitting that punching bag.
Yeah, that's compete. They never said arm wrestle. So, you know, people are kind of pissed about that. Travis, you know, he's a jokester. He doesn't care. I mean, even, but you see how it is? Travis will do that to get, you know, eyes on the event. First thing Michael did was apologize. Hey, I want to apologize to my fans because I know you guys expected to match it. It wasn't. So, I mean, you know, it was sincere, you know, but it's just weird how that went down, you know. And yeah, as ZB Rogan said, it was not promoted as live.
Yeah. So there's some people say that yes, some say no. You know, I will record a UFC event and I will watch it. And the only time I lose interest in watching it is if I find out the results.
Even if I find out the results, I still watch it because I want to know how they won. I want to know how they lost. But GB, could you highlight GB's comment? Hint, all the hype was all fake.
This one?
I'm assuming he's meant hints. All the hype was
all the fake. The hype was all fake. I think that's he's talking about it happening 3 weeks ago.
Right. Well, you know.
Hey, you know what? They say there's no such thing as bad publicity. But I don't fault Neil for, like, I'm not mad at it. We'll put it that way.
Right. I mean, he's doing something different. He may have thought, you know what, all the backlash I got, maybe I'll do something different. Who knows? But
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I mean, if you were watching Neil's show, you know, Jason Statham had a death in the family while doing all this. So, you know, they could have scrapped the whole thing, but they decided to go through with it, you know?
Yeah. I watched it thinking it was a live event. It did not affect my enjoyment of watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I found out later that it wasn't live. It didn't really bother me because I watched it as if it, well, you know, honestly, I watched it as if it had happened 5 hours earlier, not 3 weeks earlier. So it didn't really impact me much. So the whole it ends in an hour and 36-minute thing never crossed my mind because I was watching it after the event anyway.
Well, not only that, but how many times, and there's been times where, you know, you order these events, Arm Gods, you know, East vs. West, whatever. And here's something too. If you order one of those match or those promotions on Core Sports, do you know that if you click favorites, you can keep that and watch it whenever you want? I don't know if you know that because it's only up there for a minute. Then all of a sudden they take it down after a few days, and then you can't watch it no more. So if you hit the click button, right, and as favorites, you can watch it when you want. There's been times where, hey, I got a honeydew list or I got to dip out to go do some stuff with the wife, and then while the matches are going on, so I make sure I don't go on social media at all because I don't want to know anything, and I'll wait, and then I'll watch it when I can. You know what I mean?
Carolyn, long time no see.
Oh, there's my sister. What's up, Carolyn? Now, would you, Ryan, would you highlight it by David?
I did highlight that one. That one, here's where it's weird because they're talking about a live stream where they challenged each other, and apparently the match had already happened. So it's interesting. But I mean, you know what?
Well, let me ask you this. Ask everybody how many people love Game of Arms. You tell me how they filmed that.
That's right. Or any other show, but
yes,
we still watch.
Like, didn't you guys have a Canadian version, like Arm Nation or something like that?
We did, yeah.
See, you watch all that stuff. Oh yeah, I love Game of Arms. I can't wait to the next episode. All that shit's been filmed already, people.
Arm Nation is like a documentary style.
Right. Even like Beerman was on that one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So again, people just, you know, why are we so upset about that? You know,
I don't know.
Did you like the production? That's what it comes down to. Because it could have been the difference between, okay, I'll use it for example. My partner in crime in arm wrestling, Nano Cruz. If you don't know him, Puller Magazine, okay? Now, he goes to an event, he films it. Now, do you want to wait maybe a week or so, 4 or 5 days, give or take, for him to edit it, put it up? Or do you want to see it live through someone's camera phone when they sit there and do the event live via Facebook? You and I know, depending on where you are, it can get glitchy, it can freeze, that kind of stuff. You might not have the best angle. I will wait. Nano Cruz, edit it, because he'll be on stage actually, get the best view, the best editing. Now you tell me which option do you want? You want the one where you really can't see shit, it's blurry, but I got the results? Or do you want to actually see the actual match in its entirety? Or do you want to see it to where it's like, okay, I want to really get a clear view. Then you can see what elbow fouls were going on, stuff like that. So there you go.
Well, you want to talk about the actual matches?
Let's do it.
Let's start with Mindaugas and Coach Ray. And there's not a ton to talk about here until we get to Devin and Sanders, because these matches were kind of one-sided.
They think they all were one-sided. But, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, and before I get in that again, going back to what Neil does, he tries his best to, you know, line people up for best matches. You know, we all thought, you know, the Devin match might have been like, okay, you know, maybe Devin, you know, he might struggle, you know, whether you wanted him to win or not. I'm thinking, okay, I thought Devin would win 4-2, honestly, but, you know, much to my chagrin. Now, the other matches, they're all like just blowouts, like, damn, you know, but, you know, Neil tries to make matchups, and then, if it works, cool. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
I flashed Scott's thing up there real quick because we're already kind of off the subject, but
Sorry.
if somebody will, yeah.
Yes, Coach Ray. Wow, I don't know what to say. I mean, now he's 0 for 2. The guy that last year, 2022, was his year. We talked about that. Was their arm wrestler of the year at one of the end of our shows last year, and I said, yeah, I put Morozov, I put Coach Ray up there, and I believe Coach Ray won every single super match he was in last year, and now he kicks off 2023 0-2.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about, I listened, and we'll get into this later, but in Devin's video where he talked about his match coming up with Gennady, he talked about accepting a challenge because he needs to always think that he might lose. And it would be boring if he just took easy matches and won all the time. Coach Ray is putting himself out there, and he's taking harder and harder matches. And a lot of the time we think that he's not going to win those matches. Let's be honest. Like, there's been times where we have easily predicted that he is not going to win this match, and then he surprises us. So he's continuing to do the right thing. Okay, Arm Wrestling News. That's a little bit of a bomb in there. If we need some facts straight, we got to ask Pradeep. But where was I going with this? So this is no different than that. I mean, Coach Ray takes a match against a guy that is elite, but a smaller guy. Mm-hmm. We think he's in the match. We think it's going to be competitive. And Mindaugas comes in, and he's so smart. Like, even in between the rounds where he's talking about, this is the guy that always comes back.
Yeah.
And preparing him to have extra endurance and make adjustments.
I take it your dogs have something to say about that too.
I'm getting a delivery is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just rang the doorbell, so that's fun. Quiet!
I take it GB's not a Coach Ray fan.
Where did I see this? Enough Coach Ray already. Did you see the video? They just got 100,000 subscribers on that YouTube channel.
Wow.
So Coach Ray has a following, whether you want to admit it or not. They're doing well.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then, like, Mindaugas, hats off. But now, if you watch the after the match and Neil's interviewing everybody, now all of a sudden, Mindaugas was pointing toward Giannis for a match. Could we see that?
That would be awesome. That's a great match.
I mean,
left-handed matches. They're doing a lot of left-handed matches over there.
I love left-handed matches, as you do, right, Ryan?
Sure do.
Well, I'll tell you what. What if that happened at the ARMWARS Iron House? That'd be cool. That'd be cool to see.
That'd be amazing. Those guys, we haven't seen Giannis in a while.
Yeah, he's been like coach lately. Like, Sanders has the matches in his corner. Coach Ray has the matches in his corner. So he's been like a coach of some sort. But he still competed in UAWL, I believe, last year.
Yep.
Yes, Welsh. Left is the best. There you go. See?
I'll highlight that one for a little while.
Left coast, baby. Left coast. Like that. Maynard Ninjas, Jordan Hill or Jason Hill. I kind of saw that being one-sided before they put their arms on the table.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there was nothing there. There was nothing going on there that would convince me it was going to be anything but that. So,
yeah. And then we had Philippe, and I felt bad for the guy.
Philippe Fritz and Bogdan Stoica, and we saw Bogdan take a loss to Bowen, but I thought he made a huge mistake. I thought in match number 2, when he played around a little bit, because he does have a thing where he can gas a little bit and the guy can come back. I thought that might have happened. It did not, and he kept on steamrolling the guy, and the other guy got just as tired as him.
Right.
So their tanks emptied around the same pace, and it was another dominant performance.
And like I said, man, hats off, to Stoica. I mean, and like Philippe. I mean, and the thing is, you guys got to realize if there were so mismatches, I mean, Philippe got smacked left and right-handed, but make no mistake about it, that doesn't mean that he's not a good puller. Doesn't mean that at all. It's just some people, it's bad matchups, like hey, he's my Achilles heel, left and right. I can beat, maybe, Philippe can beat the guy. What if Philippe can beat Ryan Bowen, but Bowen beats, Stoica, right? It's all about matchups and styles and all that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah. Now, were there just the 4? Was there another one we got to talk about before we get into the main event here?
Well, it was 5 matches, but Philippe and Bogdan went left and right.
Right.
Then you had the, Maynard Ninjas, dominant performance, by the way. Then you had the Coach Ray Mendaugas match. And then we go to the match everyone talked about, everyone wants to roll into. And I'm thinking, okay, we might have a match here. It was good to see that Devin didn't, go off on the refs like he did in the last.
That referee set the tone.
That's what I want to see.
Really early.
Charge. Stop all this moving and trying to blow somebody's hand up. They allow that shit, at East versus West. And again, I'm not, dissing on England, but if you saw the refs at ARMWARS, they don't play that. Hey, knock it off. We're not doing that. Of course, Devin's like, that was the fastest time I've ever got told of yada, yada, yada. Like, look, they're not messing around. Why fly over across the pond to sit there and do all that and just mess around? No, listen to the refs. I was taught in this sport what the refs say is goes. Hey, if he says don't move, that's exactly what you do. Do not move. Real simple.
Okay. Here's some other thoughts on the match, though. We didn't see the normal, screwing around Devin does. And I believe a lot of that was based on how comfortable he was.
Mm-hmm.
This match was not close.
Agreed. Now, if you notice, though, we talk about different styles now. And now, we are at a point where I do want to talk Jay Clean's latest addition to the King of the Table. I do want to hit on that because I didn't know. Please inform us, Jay Clean. The strap match is now a style now. I remember, and I told you yesterday, Ryan, it's funny, and this is not a knock on Devin. These are just the facts. # these are the facts. Now, once upon a time, Devin would complain to the ref about his opponent not trying to get a grip. Fast forward now, 2022, 2023, Devin's really not going to grip. He sat there and told Sanders, I'm not going to grip you, man. Want to go to strap? I'm not going to grip you. He'll just he's not even trying to, slip, get into the strap. That's his domain. So basically, from a strategy standpoint, Devin is making you fight his match, even though you have your own strategy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
He's going to mess around, walk away, 30 seconds. Okay, now we go to the strap. That's my home. That's where I live at. He's forcing you basically to go in his world. So anybody out there that wants to know, how to beat certain people, I guess you can train a strap. I mean, we've seen other people. We've seen Dallas Langston do it. Only Dallas just kind of just balls his fist up and do that because he knows, hey, the strap is my game. That's a style now. That's what it is. Thoughts?
Depends on the rule set because he still has to get there most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you are willing to commit to an inside match, he's probably going to be able to get the strap. So there's where it becomes tough. Which one are you looking at there, Jody?
ZB Rogan said last round was outside of straps, wasn't it?
It was.
Well, yeah, but at that point, he already got the 4 wins.
Yeah. I do have another comment to make about something he said during the match. When he looked at the crowd and said, Matt, ask for a rematch. I'm going to say this. I don't think it's going to be well received by either guy. If they watch, if they care. but I don't think Devin is giving Matt Mask good advice on the matches he should or should not be taking and the strategy that he should be employing. They are not the same guy. And Matt has some rebuilding to do.
Well, they may be the same guy in stature.
In stature, not in style, not in strength, and not in haircut, nothing.
Right.
But they have Matt's got a tough challenge ahead of him. Like in a couple of weeks, he's pulling Sonev.
Yeah, hope he's ready for it. He needs that match. He needs
Sonev is match. Like a similar puller to Sanders.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you have these matches, sometimes you got to take a step back. Like, and I use, good buddy of mine, West Coast guy, Derek Smith. You go to East versus West and, lose two matches over there. You got to take a step back, take some time off. So, I mean, I'm thrilled come Winter Blast when he's pulling Austin Jaggers. I'm thrilled about that, Ooh, all right, 242, huh? Okay.
It's a tough go, man. They offered me the left-handed match on short notice. I declined.
You declined what match?
Sonev, because Porkchop obviously got injured, so he was supposed to pull him left-handed. They offered it to me. Short notice, couldn't make it work. Mike Gould is stepping in. I don't know where Mike is at right now with his left hand, but
where's this match at?
Somewhere in Ontario. I think it's Magda. Oh, no, it's not Magda's event. It's Umesh's event. Yeah, but we'll be able to see it streamed somewhere.
Nice.
But I mean, we got Devin dominant. I don't makes him seem like a psychopath when he's whispering, "Remember me, Sanders. Remember me."
That's all part of the game, He has
the game was over at that point. It's not.
He has morphed himself into the villain, whether you like him or not.
He's the Macho Man Randy Savage when he was a villain. If you don't tune in to see the champion, the big face, you definitely tune in to see the heel lose. So there you go.
And then
and on that note, well, you go finish your thought first before I change track here.
And I was gonna say, now that he's made his announcement who he's pulling next.
Gennady, that's where I was going. Yeah.
Number 6, East versus West, number 6.
That's a tough match for Devin. He looked really good and healthy, and if he shows up probably the same way he shows up with Sanders, we got a match there. But if he morphs into like the 300-pound Devin again. Whew.
Oh yeah, sorry, 7. Sorry, Phil. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that healthy to be bloating up and cutting weight, bulking up, cutting weight? Does that do something to your body at some point as you get older?
At this point in his career, I wouldn't say Devin is mostly concerned about being healthy and longevity. He's doing what he's got to do to win right now.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't do it, but hey, if he can do it, more power to him. He has nothing to do. I mean, he's retired now. He can do what the hell he wants to do. So,
hey, Gennady is arguably like top 5 super heavyweights. So it's not a comparable for him and Sanders. I think Gennady is as tough as they come. Jerry beat him, but he had a style to beat him. Straight up arm wrestling, I think we see the return of Devin's King's move in that one. But under East versus West rules, it's going to be a lot harder.
I'll tell you what, and we'll go here. When Devin knows that it's going to be a match, a challenge, that's when he goes King's move.
I think we're going to see it all in that match.
Not one time did he go King's move with Sanders. I don't believe, unless I missed something. I don't believe he went King's move at any point.
Have you ever seen the test your frame photo with Devin in it?
I have not.
Like a silhouette of himself. Well, he went right. Neil actually pointed it out. He went right into that position during the Sanders match, and he said old school or something like that. And he went into his old position that he used to pull in. and it almost looked like he fit right inside what that old silhouette was. It was, yeah, that was dominant.
I think that was the old high hooker logo, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Woody says, Jody, are you pulling left and right next in my March? I'm pulling both. Now, whether the only thing I can speak on right now is me and Uncle John. I can't speak on anything else because I don't know anything else. And I'm sure at some point, Neil and I will get together, we'll chit chat, and we'll see what's going on. And even then, I may not be allowed to say anything. So that's all I can tell you right now. You know, I had arthritis in here. I don't want to say it's completely gone, but it feels good now. So I'll say that. Now, should we change gears? There's 2 more topics we can talk about.
Let's go with Bowen.
Yeah.
And Chance.
Yeah. So those that don't know, the match between Ryan Bowen and Chance Shaw, which I was looking forward to because my plan was to have Chance on my show next. Obviously, that's not going to go. So now all of a sudden, he hurt his elbow. Now, was it this past weekend that they had a big tournament in Florida? Chance dove in there. He competed and pulled. I know he pulled left. Don't know if he pulled right. I didn't finish watching the whole event. But I don't know if he got hurt then, but it's like going, okay, knowing he's going to Australia, long-ass trip from Florida. And I'm wondering, did that tournament he just pulled in, was that the reason why he got injured and now he can't go? And Ryan, I'm going to give the floor to you because Bowen has some options for Chance. And I'm going to let you take the wheel on this one.
Well, these were the options I believe Chance put forward to him, right?
Yeah.
One of them was postpone. The other one was cancel his appearance. The other one was show up and lose, which that one kind of, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Arm Wrestling News. We're going to answer that in a minute. But anyway, the thing that I'm most curious about out of all of this is that Bowen has found a replacement that he hasn't told us who it is yet. And they're applying for a visa, which tells me they're probably North American, don't know who it is. No idea who it is. Do you know who it is, Jody?
Who could it be? I don't know.
It's not Rob Vision Jr.
Right. Who could it be? Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. Oh,
do you care to speculate?
I'm not saying nothing.
Arm Wrestling News says it has to be Jordan Sill. He had to pay for him anyways.
Well, if we're talking right hand, that's a possible. Because I know he messed up his bicep at Washington State in December, so he kind of tore it.
Matt Schultz, I like that comment. Who?
But yeah, let's get back to Arm Wrestling News had an awesome question.
All right, I'll put it up here. If Neil tells you to participate in the post-match, pre-match hype and fake interviews, what would be your response? That is a good question. If someone approached me and said the match has already happened, because we did kind of participate, but we had no idea the match had happened. If someone came to us and said, will you help hype this up? The match has already happened. What would be our response? And I don't know what I would say, Jody, to be honest with you.
Okay, so at what point do you say, how do you, split between reality and fabricated? How do you define that? Because me growing up as yourself, as a professional wrestling fan when we were little, oh man, this is badass. Not knowing that the match was already talked about in the back before they went to the ring, right? Now, people got to realize this. The matches itself are not fabricated. Let's get that straight. They're not fabricated. Okay. However, if I'm reading this right, let's just say Espey and I had a match and Espey wins 5-1. And all of a sudden, Neil comes to us and go, hey, can you guys hype this up? and we go, yeah, Espey, I love you, man, but I got to put you down, big dog. Is he talking about that? Is that what he means?
Probably promoting that actual card, like the dark card, if he asked us to do it. I mean, I don't see it being a huge problem. If I was being intentionally deceitful, like I would still promote, like let's say I knew the match happened 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
But I didn't know the result. I could promote that match as equally as if it was a live event. The only difference is I would be watching for tells in the two competitors, because I think the hardest acting job in this whole thing is probably Sanders. How do you talk shit to somebody that you know you've already lost to?
Joe 1075, is he saying I'm a scumbag? How do you tell the difference? Are you a scumbag? Oh, like am I a scumbag or is my opponent a scumbag? I just want to make sure I read that right. Here's the deal. Because at the end of the day, what was real? The match is real. Okay. It ain't like, I laid down. We're not doing that. No one's doing that. If you want to get our sport hyped up, this is what you do. I mean, we can go two different ways. We can complain about, oh, well, if you guys already had the match and then you guys were faking, pre-match interviews, post-match. Okay, well, how real was Arm Guys with the beer smacking over smacking a beer over was that planned over Paul Maiden? Was that planned?
I still don't know.
Do we all know?
Even if Evan were to tell me that was all planned, I'm not sure if I would be able to believe it. Like it's
because that was pretty like, oh, but what happened? The beer can over the dome got views, got eyes, they got more buys. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That right there, boom, boom, boom. And I already, pre-ordered anyway because I was interested. I want to see, how good Evan is, because at that point, Evan is supposed to be, we all talked about Evan versus Schoolboy. What happened? Never happened. And then, okay, Evan, you're talking this shit. We want to see you compete. Paul Maiden, awesome. This would be interesting. And then I'm going to take this beer can, smack it over your cranium, and then bam, now your buys for the pay-per-view tripled. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, okay, good. That's what we're talking about. So, but, Jay Clean, do not worry. I saw your comment. We will get to it.
Arm Wrestling News, just out of curiosity, who won that left-handed match? Because I didn't see it.
That was not on there. That was a bonus one. So Neil said, hey, there's going to be two matches. One will be on the show, one will not. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's I think Matt hits it right. We alluded to professional wrestling where you know the outcome, but you're still promoting it. I probably personally wouldn't want to promote something I knew the result of. I would rather just not know, because I think it would impact how I approached promoting the event. So pre-recorded, don't care about that. Knowing the outcome and trying to promote, that would be tough for me to do. I would probably say no to that.
Right. Jay Clean's match, the addition to King of the Table, was Pablo versus Sabin. Now, it's only a matter of time before he got the nod, because the last time we saw Pablo on a big stage, not Illinois State, but on a big stage, was the fact that he took out Michael Todd left hand and he took out Paul Lynn right hand, right? So now he's like the Monster Factory champion in that weight class each hand. Now, it was only a matter of time before he got the call. So whether it be East versus West, King of the Table, whatever. So he got the call. Now he's pulling Sabin. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I've never in my life experienced, in all my time in arm wrestling, somebody that got a win over someone, 6 or 7 years ago and used it so effectively to get matches to this day. So we're talking about when Sabin got the win over Levon at the World Championship way back in the day. And And there's an asterisk on that one because that's in the era where one guy was popped for performance enhancing at the WAF championships and got knocked out of there anyway. And I believe Levon came back and won it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough one for me. Like, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. We're missing any recent data on him.
The last time I seen him pull was he pulled Travis, and Travis had like
pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And Travis wasn't training all that hard, and Travis won the first match and hurt himself
in the second match.
Yeah. So
there's some table rust there, right?
I would like to see where he's at. So we'll find out real quick. Like, if he comes in and just starches Pavlo, like he just goes right through him, there's nothing, then maybe he's right back on track and we can start talking about him and like guys like Gennady or Hermes Gasparini and those type of guys. I don't think we can do that anytime soon. And Pavlo, I think, might be a big challenge for him this early in coming back.
Pablo is that freak of nature. And Rush Shredder, you're in the chat. You pulled him at Illinois State 2 weekends ago, so you should know how this goes. But Pablo is a freak of nature. I'm telling you right now. I mean, that guy is so strong. It is ridiculous. He's just now getting the love. Well, he should have been gotten the love a long time ago. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and then there was I saw some footage of this, and Pavlo took some losses at a tournament. He might just be doing too much, like not peaking properly for events, because he's got that. He's going around trying to do the Michael Todd thing and rack up all the wins too.
So my monkeys, not my circus, says the left-hand match will be another members-only release as soon as James can edit. And then Mr. Philip Burke says #Scam Wars. Well, you know, to each his own.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for those that don't like it, and Neil put it out there, hey, if you don't like it, that's fine. No big deal. Neil's going to keep doing what he's doing. And for those that don't like ARMWARS or Scam Wars, call it what you want, you don't have to watch it. Because like I said, time and time again, each promotion has something for somebody. That's all I'm saying.
You know, all these channels have like memberships and stuff, and there's not many of them that offer the amount of things behind the scenes as ARMWARS does.
Right.
There's a lot of extras you get when you sign up to that channel membership, and that event was one of them. But I mean, Michael Todd's as well. You get lots of extras over there too, and you get to watch the Monster Factory events. All in all,
which is now April 29th, by the way.
For $9 Canadian, I got to watch an amazing event.
And that's what it comes down to. Are you more interested in that if it was live or not, or the actual match itself? So we're talking about Sabin and Pablo. Are you going to be interested in the actual match itself? Or is it because it was live, you can't have a live party because, you know, somebody leaked it out or whatever? Does it really matter? You know, that's all I'm saying, you know? So.
Yeah. It seems to be the topic that keeps coming back up.
It almost kind of just poo-poos on the actual match itself, which was a stinker, 6-0, whatever. But and maybe if it was a little closer, maybe, you know, we kind of sweep the live event underneath the rug, maybe, I'm guessing. But because it was such a blowout, it's kind of like, what's there to talk about? Maybe it's something like that, you know?
Yeah. Hey, there's something else we got to talk about real quick. There's two things actually I want to cover.
Let's do it.
There are two events coming up in Canada that I want to just mention. One of them is, and please go and hit like on Facebook on this page, is the new Stronghold Arm Wrestling League, the revived Stronghold Arm Wrestling League. We have that going on March the 18th. Okay.
All right.
That's in Calgary, Alberta. I'm going to be involved. I'm going to be going out there and making an appearance and reffing. And we'll see what happens out there. But Fraser Benoit, one of the owners of the league, would like to join us at some point before then to talk about his event.
Let's do it. Yes. Love to have friends.
A week later, the Southeast Smashers are putting on an East versus West qualifier right here in Manitoba. So watch for information to come out on that. I'm doing some of their graphics for them right now. We're doing some promotion on that, but it will be the second Canadian qualifier, and I will definitely be at that one as well.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because March 4th, Vancouver, Washington, we also have an East versus West qualifier, and yours truly will not be participating, but I'll be reffing. So I'll be doing that. So sorry, but I won't be. The next time I'll compete when it counts, will be in Manchester, England. So there you have it.
There you go. So it's actually Billy Berg and Matt Schultz, who's in the comments section right now, is put on the East versus West qualifier. And there's some big time personnel coming out. I keep hearing rumors that Dave Hicks might join us for that event.
Ooh, but legendary.
We'll see.
Now, I'm not mistaken, and I don't know how much you know, but from what I gather, from what I heard, at least from our event, that the top two in each class qualify for another qualification in Virginia.
There's a final in Virginia, and I'm not sure what the numbers are to actually qualify to go there. But then, of course, if you win, you get a match somewhere at East versus West.
And I want to let everybody know, because I know there's been some confusion in the Northwest where I'm at. So, and I'll get to your question in a second, Russ. Some people like shy away from that because they think, oh, it's East versus West. Okay, fine. Well, then I'm not going to go because it's East versus West. It's only for elite people. That's not what this is about. This is just another tournament. So, especially where I'm from in the Northeast, the Northwest, where tournaments are hard to come by anyway, it's another tournament. Throw your name in the hat. It's another opportunity to go ahead and wreck somebody else's weekend. If you happen to take top two, then you get to qualify to go on to the next Virginia, I do believe. I'm not sure when, but yeah, you'll qualify for that. And Russ Schrader said, what do I think about Sean Hancock as far as what, like reffing or promoting? If you can elaborate on that, that'd be awesome.
Well, I can give you my thoughts real quick. I think Sean's a great promoter. He does a good job. He treated me very well when I went down and competed for him. He's got a ton of events lined up, but I think specifically he might be asking about this 260-pound weight class, which is interesting because there's so many guys over 260 now. I'm going to assume that means he's doing away with the 240 class and it's 200 to 260, or is there just an additional, or what was it before? Was it 230?
It was PAL. I think it was like the same 242 and then 243 and over. So
yeah,
that's interesting. I don't know where the cutoff is though.
Yeah, you can't have 200 to 242 and then 242 to 260. So there must be some shuffling around of the cutoff.
Right.
But
that'd be interesting though.
I don't hate it.
It doesn't bother me. I'm 236 right now, so it don't bother me. So,
well, you got room to grow, and guys that are 250 would have a hard time competing. It's 231 to 260. Okay, so there's an additional 30-pound class in there. There's lots of guys at 250 that would have trouble competing with most super heavyweights.
I am not trying to freaking be 260. No, I don't really like being 236 right now. I don't, but I'm just coming off of COVID, by the way, so I feel weak right now. I gotta, get through this shit, So
yeah,
it sucked. Helping my nephew move, going up a flight of steps, being tired. That's not okay by me. So I gotta cycle through this stuff and then get back to it because I got some big stuff coming up next month, this year. ARMWARS next month, April 29th, Monster Factory. Russ Schrader and myself, don't know what day exactly, but there's that. Got a lot of stuff coming up, so we'll see. I still want to pull Evan Burgoyne. We've been barking back and forth, in case you guys haven't known. noticed, whether it be on, his channel, whether it be on the 98% channel. We've been kind of going back and forth. Some way, somehow, no offense to my co-host, but I'm going to, continue my Canadian ass kicking tour. So.
Well, you know where that tour stops, right?
So whether it be, Uncle John, Evan McGowan, Billy Berg, doesn't matter. BLM, I don't care. Although it's funny because Beer Man said Friday night, because we were on the 98% show, and he said he loved to see me and Alan Ford. He loved to see Alan Ford kick my ass. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I think our next Arm Guys is going to be in Canada anyway. So I'm thinking, okay.
I'm going to say something about that. Part of the appeal for me to go to Arm Gods is that I get to go to Ireland or the UK, somewhere else in the UK. I don't necessarily want to go to Ontario and compete in Arm Gods. You know what I'm saying?
What if they offer you, who's the big guy that won the belt?
Oh, Mindaugas Dulskis.
What if they say, hey, you for the belt against Mindaugas? What would you say to that?
In Ireland?
No, if they came to Canada, he brought us belt and it's for the title, what would you do it?
Yeah, I would do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that. But, man, so much to talk about. I love where we are right now in the sport because there's always something to talk about. Some event went off, some news came out, and of course, for some reason, I keep seeing Jerry Cataract, his, opinion on the top 5 like every 2 weeks. I don't know why, but I see it one time, which is good, but then it's like he has another video come on, like going, didn't you just mention that 2 weeks ago? Like, did it change that much? Because I don't even know if you're going off of what Devin did. Is Devin even top? I mean, what I'm saying is that when you talk to certain people about top 5, it usually always involves super heavyweights, right? I don't know what Devin is now. I don't know.
Well, Devin is the number one, the absolute number one at heavyweight, I believe, on the planet. Super heavyweight is a different story.
Jerry's top 5 differs when his shirt is off. Oh, that is the funniest comment today.
Jay Clean also, because Paul Italia asks him the same questions every other day. So, fair enough.
Dan Willie gets the comment of the day. It differs if Jerry's shirt's off.
Well, buddy, should we put a bow on this one?
Ooh-ah! Welsh Wolverine. Yes, we should. We should.
Yeah. All right, my friend.
I'm going to recover because I'm leaving for Las Vegas Thursday morning. So
sounds good to me.
Yes. Going to enjoy my kids' birthdays down there. So we're going to hang out and have a good time. So
will we see you Monday?
Oh, yeah, I'll be back. It's just a short trip. We're going to go hang out, not do anything, but go do maybe a show or two, maybe gamble. I will go to a buffet, which means I'll hope I'm not 240 when I come back, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to have a good time.
All right.
So everybody, thanks for joining our show. I hope you did like, and I hope you did subscribe to Ryan's channel, my channel. Thanks again. We love everything about you guys, your comments, whether you agree, disagree, we appreciate them. And the one thing you will know from Ryan and myself is that we pull no punches. You know, we do not get intimidated by other people. So we're going to tell you how we feel and we stick by it. And that's what it's all about, you know. The Drew, Jody, you're going to see Brandon Allen. That is slated for December this year.
Yeah. And good turnout today. Good turnout today for this video. We got 46 people still watching. That's awesome.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Enjoy your Monday. See you next Monday.
See you, everybody.